dog telling us to get off his property. You're peeing on my rocks, dude.
I am here in San Francisco to go on a walk with one of the most influential educators of my lifetime, and of course, his dog. Well, I have to say, before we get too far along, that you are the reason that I am no longer afraid of quicksand.
Look, it's a white sandy beach. I don't feel any danger at all.
Oh, excellent.
You are the reason that I am confident that if I ever drove my car into a lake, I could escape.
Wow, I can feel the pressure.
Woo! Thank
And
you.
you are the reason that I will never, ever, ever underestimate duct tape again.
It's working. Oh yeah, baby!
So just had to get that little fanboy moment out.
I hope you didn't burn down anything too expensive.
No.
Okay, good.
To get us started, tell us everything about Maggie. How did you first come to have her?
So I didn't grow up with dogs. My dad was heavily allergic. And so I didn't have a dog until 2004 when we adopted Huxley from Berkeley Humane. Huxley, like I said, passed in January of 20. But about a year and a half after we got Huxley, we thought it'd be great to get him a companion. And we felt like we wanted more dog energy in the house. So we went to Pets Unlimited and we met Maggie. And you know, Pets Unlimited here in San Francisco has been there forever. They really require like 2 or 3 visits with members of the household. So we brought my teenage sons, and we brought Huxley, and we got to know Maggie, and we brought her home around, I think in early 2008. And she's been with us ever since. She's almost 15 now. She's deaf, which has made her a lot less barky. She no longer loses her mind when someone rings a doorbell on the television. And she's gotten much snugglier because once Huxley passed, well, of course, 100% of our love now goes all to her. And she's very pleased to receive the bonus. So she's now very snuggly. She sleeps under the covers.
Of course.
Yeah, because she's like a ratter. She's incredibly territorial. So you step into her zone, she's gonna bark, and the number of things that she takes offense at, sometimes it's a cane, sometimes it's a hat. It's really weird what she finds like awful and wants to bark at. But once she's past the barking phase, she's actually a people person. She's a little spoon, she's a big spoon. She's there for what you need.
Does she come to work with you sometimes?
She does not like my shop because she remembers, even though she can't hear the noises anymore, she remembers the noises being unpleasant. So for the longest time, whenever we'd like make the right turn towards my shop, she'd be like, are you sure you want to go there? Because maybe, you know, home is this way. She really knows the mission really well. So she'd be like, no, let's go this way. At this point now, she's a little more calm about coming to the shop, but she still prefers to be home where the couches are.
So you've defined yourself consistently and for a very long time as a maker. Mm-hmm. Could you define what a maker is?
Yeah, it is. It took me a long time to come up with a definition as broad as I wanted it to be. But making is any time you take your point of view and make something that didn't exist. That could be a table or a chair or a government or a car. It doesn't matter. The way we contribute to our culture and to each other is by using our point of view to say something. That's making.
Well, that's a great definition.
I want everyone on board. There's no reason that you are not a maker. Coding is making, writing is making, cooking is making.
Dog rating?
Dog rating, absolutely making. When she's recently got a haircut, the punny name we have for her is Rumple Smoothskin. Of course. When she's being a jerk, call her Snarls Barkley.
Rumple Smoothskin is amazing. That is fantastic. In post Mythbusters, you've had a show for about a decade on YouTube called Tested.
Mm-hmm. That eye really makes it. I know, the eye actually really helps look cool, so.
With all of those resources at your disposal and decades of experience, how the heck do you decide what you're gonna make on a given day?
Oh, that's the best part of all this. It's largely whatever I want. Mythbusters was amazing. We spent 14 years making almost 300 hours of television and we built stuff constantly. Mm-hmm. But there's a fundamental way in which right now Building for Tested is the build show of my dreams. So, you know, we have some ongoing projects or collaborations that we're doing, and I love like working with other YouTube channels, for instance, but it is deeply enthusiasm based. And frankly, that's always gonna make the best, a second one, really? That's always gonna make the best content, you know, when the operator is involved in their stuff. So every now and then I'll do a piece to camera and I'll be astounded by, like, it's really personal, and so I'm not sure how it lands, and so I often call up my general manager and I'm like, you gotta watch this video before it goes out. I think it's weird. And invariably, those are the ones that get the highest number of hits. Well done, Maggie.
We can also take that and throw it away for you.
Oh, why, thank you.
That's a service. If we make this a series, that's a service that we're gonna need.
I don't want it back, let's be really clear.
With all of the success you've had, why continue to make?
You know, there's no cessation to the need to make stuff for me. There never will be. That's the amazing grace of what I've been able to do for the past 20 years. Yeah, I think if you check in on me in 25 years, you'll find me happily ensconced in a shop for a few dozen hours a week, making stuff. I want to like live out my dotage making ship models for the Smithsonian or the Royal Armory or something like that. I think people are starting to understand that there doesn't have to be a retirement where you stop doing the thing. And then, we're in an interesting cultural moment from an employment standpoint, but I feel deeply lucky that I'm doing precisely what I'd be doing if it wasn't earning me any money, right?
Do you have a favorite build?
It's always the thing I just did.
Okay.
Absolutely, and to be really clear, like when I finish something I like, as soon as I finish it, it comes home and lives with me for a few days. So everything that I have just completed usually comes and sits on the bedside table for a few days to sometimes a few weeks, depending on how long I have to look at it. And that's really what it feels like. It's like I completed something that I've been obsessed with. Your camera folks are doing great work here with all the branches. You know, completing something that I'm really excited about. I'm excited about it because it's tapping into something. Your biggest obstacle at getting good at anything is yourself. And so when you get good at something at all, you've already surmounted parts of your personality, your venality, your laziness. Well, all of us have this inside of us, right? But when you finally found your way past that to get good at something, you've learned something about yourself. And so to me, that's the journey of the shop, is a constant exercise in self-awareness.
I can definitely relate to being your own roadblock. That's why we didn't do this about 3 years ago. So, yeah, completely makes sense.
Oh, here's a sad dog telling us to get off his property. You're peeing on my rocks, dude.
There's a few chapters in your book almost dedicated to the power of lists.
Yes.
And I was wondering, after perfecting these lists and understanding their value, do you have a favorite writing utensil?
It is a Papermate Sharpwriter No. 2 mechanical pencil.
I honestly didn't expect a very specific answer.
Oh yeah, no, this is my favorite writing implement. It is dirt cheap. Papermate makes them in yellow. They will not make them in color for me. I've written to them directly and asked them, shoot them in white for me. I want to make NASA type mechanical pencils. And they do that for lots of other pens, but with a company that big asking them to stop a production line to make your own color, they won't do it. But I love it because it's disposable. I buy it by the box, and I've got pen holders of it everywhere in my life. So I'm never more than 6 feet from one of those pencils. And I like it because if I have a really good mechanical pencil, I'll lose it. And with the Sharpwriter, they're cheap enough that that's not a concern.
Doesn't matter. Wow. Well, we'll see if we have any Papermate connections, if we can help you out there.
She's been doing great, by
She's
the way.
amazing.
She's been really camera friendly, sweetie.
Beautiful.
Go get him. I like to call her leash tough. She'll lunge for people, but if I accidentally let go of the leash, she stops the moment there's no more tension. She's all like, "This is all for show."
So there are a few segments in Mythbusters that do involve dogs. You all I forget if you confirmed or busted the myth about old dogs learning new tricks.
We proved that that was possible. Yeah, it was plausible.
There we go. But then also there was the Bloodhound jailbreak segment.
The Bloodhound, we did 2 different Bloodhound episodes, and they were stunning. Working with a real scent dog and a trainer is an incredible experience to watch. Yeah.
What was it like having those dogs on set? Did it immediately boost morale?
100%. I mean, the first dog episode we did, which was teaching old dog new tricks, we had a couple of completely untrained huskies, Cece and Bobo, if I remember correctly. Having dogs on set is such an instant, like everyone just has grins on their face. And then when we did the Bloodhound episode, which is the first one we did was Cool Hand Luke, a Bloodhound doesn't operate alone. It is an absolutely amazing partnership between the trainer and the dog. And so when the Bloodhound would successfully locate something, his trainer was so like, "Oh, it's a good boy," just this huge amount of affirmation, and the dog was so excited. Just watching that is inherently beautiful. It just makes everyone's day better.
So you've gotten to work with the Boston Dynamics dog, Spot, a few times.
Yeah.
Would you let Spot sleep at the foot of your bed?
Of course I'd let Spot sleep at the foot of my bed. It's just a robot. It is an interesting moment in time because we do have robot dogs, and that's exciting to me, even though people can tend to be creeped out by them. I understand. I think the real trick is they got to start programming noises and more appropriate gestures to the dogs. Like when
That
a dog
makes sense.
is moving in this, that's terrifying. We need some more emotional kinematics in our robots.
Did you have the opportunity to scratch its belly, and did it roll over and kick its leg like that?
Not only have I scratched Spot's belly, I've also let Spot walk all over me.
So what would you say, no bias here, is the most intelligent dog breed?
Oh, I've done my reading. I know that Border Collies have tremendous language recall and instructional understanding. It's interesting because I love smart dogs, but I'm even more impacted by dogs that focus, right? Like Maggie and her former brother Huxley are both very look you in the eye and be with you kind of dogs. And there's a fundamental way in which that kind of unconditional presence, it just changes you. So I'm not sure it's as much, for me, it's not as much about intelligence as it is about that sort of emotional focus that you get from a dog.
Well, the correct answer was actually they're all equally intelligent and incredible, but we can edit that in post, so it's fine. So as a maker and someone who loves Maggie so much, why haven't you cloned her?
This is actually, there is a whole episode of This American Life about a guy who had a cow that he particularly loved, and they cloned the cow. They successfully cloned it, and the cow that grew up was not exactly the same cow. There's nature and there's nurture.
It feels like a cop-out answer,
But
Adam.
no, listen, I am here for the temporality of this plane. And I know that I have a short period of time on this planet and an even shorter period of time with her, and that our goal is to learn about beginnings and endings, and that is totally fine with me. Saying goodbye to her brother was one of the more uplifting and sad and incredible moments of my life. I feel really grateful to get to spend time with these incredible beings. So yeah, I wouldn't clone her. I don't want a repeat of the same thing. Getting to know her and living out this thing with her is ideal. So no, I'm not interested in cloning.
And Adam, we know that you are very into cosplay.
Yeah.
Have been forever. You've replicated some of the most famous movie props of all time.
Yeah.
How far along are you in replicating the collar that Doug wears in the movie Up that allows him to speak?
Squirrel! Way back when the Wired Fetish column used to do a radio segment of fake gadgets, and one year they had a dog collar that called out what the dog was saying, and then the parody turned that into a real product, and then it shows up in Up. So I appreciate its oscillation culturally as to real object, fake object, real object, fake object.
Well, it's probably a good thing it doesn't exist because I might not have a job after that, actually. If they can say what they're thinking, I don't need to translate anymore.
There's a short story from years ago where someone said, I've carefully mapped dogs' brainwaves to what they're saying when they're barking, and here's a transcript of the last thing my dog was saying, and it's just... And I'm like, yeah, no, that totally checks out. I don't know if you can put that on your channel. Go ahead and beep it. Everyone will know what I'm saying. I think that there are key moments every dog, every pet owner, companion, however you want to classify it, has a moment with their animal in which a real communication happens and it's unambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
That's rare. It's not like sit and they sit, but like where the dog is like, I really want this outcome, and you know what they mean and you deliver it and they thank you for it. Like, every pet person has this experience, and they are super powerful, I think, because it actually makes us feel less alone in the world, right? We're reaching across a species and having a genuine, tangible, cogent communication. Those moments are really, I treasure those when I can tell that she's like, it's time for everyone to come to bed. She does that. She corrals my wife and I, starting at around 8:30 every night. And so what she does is, because we're not in bed yet, she'll stand at the door to the room we're in and face the bedroom while looking over her shoulder at us. It's just like making sure we know what the next instruction is. We never follow it, but that doesn't stop her. But I love that communication because it really does feel, it's remarkable to reach across a species and know what you each are talking about.
With Doug, shortly after we adopted him, this was my first experience, having a dog of my own. Previously, it was all, family dogs, and my first time adopting.
Yeah.
And I was very cognizant of the moments where he felt safe and comfortable. The first one was when he hopped on the couch with me, and I was just sitting there beside him, and he was like, I think I can come up here, and I'm going to. And reminder, this is a 125-pound German Shepherd. So that was one moment. He's not like a roll-on-the-ground type of dog. He does get excited, but again, he's 12, and there's not a lot of, very energetic things that he does.
Yeah.
But it was about 6 months after I adopted him, and he did his first full rollover. Fully, belly exposed all the way to the other side, and I lost it because I obviously consume a lot of dog content, and that is like a universal sign of comfort and feeling like they're in the place where they're supposed to be. So I can relate to that sentiment, and I think most dog owners can.
Both Maggie and her brother Huxley have the same movement, which is if you walk in the room and they're lying down and they see you, Huxley would do this and Maggie now does it. She's like, maybe you'd like to pet my belly? She's always like giving you the look and then like,
There's a pat.
Exactly, no, it's totally. And she's all like pink and liver spotted down there. It's just delightful.
Why do we love dogs?
I gave a little bit of an answer about this before. I think we love dogs because what we get from them, what we get from frankly, any pet relationship is a real unconditional, uncomplicated kind of love. I joke about my kids. My kids slept with the dogs every night. And actually, one son chose odd nights and the other son chose even nights. And so on each of the successive nights, the dogs would sleep in that bed or this bed of the twins. And I used to joke, where else are my kids gonna find unconditional love? And when you're petting your pet and they give that deep inhale and then go, that sigh of total satisfaction, the exchange feels like 100%. So I think that dogs, and again, I'm a big believer that there is no pinnacle, right? There's no best pet, there's no best breed of dog. The pet relationship is one that is about a reciprocal, uncomplicated love, and that is a delightful thing to get to experience. And frankly, dogs in particular, in my experience, are remarkable beings, but that is just my intersection with them.
Thank you so much for agreeing to this. This is wonderful.
I didn't get much sleep last night because I was so excited about this today. And specifically, I'm so blown away by how much great B-roll Maggie has given your crew.
She has done wonderfully. We have more than enough. So thank you so much.
Dude, my absolute pleasure. Let's do it again.
How far do you think we are from miniature domesticated bears? Because Personally, I think it's rude that bears are so friend-shaped, but they can't be my friend.
We're hundreds of years from miniature.
That's not what I wanted
domesticated
you to
bears.
say, Adam.